If you're looking for a pro wrestling podcast with me, Buster Unmasked is the only podcast for you, where real pro wrestlers talk real pro wrestling and no bullshit allowed. All right, y'all, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked. And look, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on X or Twitter. But most importantly, every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central Time, you can catch us on the Genesis TV network. You can get it on Roku, Fire Stick. You can go to their website every single Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central Time, Buster Unmasked on the Genesis TV network. Look, guys, I got an awesome show for you today. My guest today, in my opinion, until recently, has been one of these hidden gems around our territory. I feel like he's highly underrated. Look, this guy is a MIW mainstay. He's a Bluff City guy. He's working for PKAW, OWO out of Mississippi. This guy is currently the MIW heavyweight champion. I'm going to tell y'all right now, tonight, it's time to get right with the Lord, Stephen Styles. Stephen.
What's happening, guys?
What's up, dude?
Everybody out there on the channel. Man, same story, new day.
I hear you. That's the wrestling business, man. Same story, new day, always, brother.
Trying to stay warm out here in the snow. And I'm telling you, it's bad up here, won't it?
Dude, it's Jake. The same way where I'm at, man. We've been snowed in all day, and probably our main roads and interstate's clear, but all the back roads where I live, because it's mostly back roads, and they're still coated in ice, dude. Every road's covered in ice. Everybody's trapped in it. Ain't, but at the highest today, I think it was 14 degrees, man.
Here, I checked the weather. It was like 21 or something like that.
Oh hell no, we never got that high today, dude.
Yesterday it started at 14, then the highest it got that last I saw yesterday was like 18 degrees. And
right. Well, we're supposed to get some more Thursday, I think, if I'm reading the weather right, man. My job
is on a 2-hour delay tomorrow. So, and they said if you can't make it, it'd be unpaid, but you won't be penalized.
Right. Well, the same way up here, dude. They shut all the schools down until at least Thursday. And if they get a weather report Wednesday that knows for sure they're going to get some more Thursday, they'll cancel it. Because, like I said, we're mostly back roads, and they are just completely a sheet of ice. People's been driving on them and packing it down, man. It's been so cold. Everything's like an ice skating ring. Dude, Buster Unmasked, you know what you're here for. We're here to talk about wrestling, man.
That's right. Oh, look, man.
I guess let's start where we always start. I know you got some things on your mind that you want to get out today and you want to say. I've got some graphics of some upcoming shows that you're going to be on. And let's just start where we always have to start. It's the first time I've had you on, dude. Take me back and tell me how you got in this business, man.
Oh, man. All right. So everybody that knows me knows who my father is, and that's AC Styles.
Right.
And Buster, I'm pretty sure you've been in the ring with him many a day. Back for
I think so. It's
because Moondog. All right, Moondog trained my dad, and which Dad opened the doorways for guys like LA Hustlers. Well, I don't know, because they say a different story, but he tells me he opened the doors for them. He helped train them. I don't know. CT Jordan is one, a main one. I'm one as well. Marco Stunt, him and Motley, which we'll talk about Motley here in a little bit. I got some stories for Motley.
Everybody's got Motley stories, man.
Man, he helped a lot of guys in this business, and people don't give him credit for that. And
Motley's been helping dudes for years, man. Look, when I first broke in the business in 1992, I think it was early 93, the first time I met Motley. And from the first day I met him, man, he kind of took me under his wing and kind of helped me out in the ring immensely as far as slowing me down, man. I was young, I was green, I was intense, and man, 90-0, you know, and he's the first guy to really get me in the ring and slow me down and kind of show me how this thing's supposed to work, dude. Motley don't get the credit he deserves.
Right.
Anywhere.
Motley's also the one to tell you, lay it in.
Lay it in. I never had that problem with him, dude. I always laid it in. That was my biggest problem, is learning not to lay it in so good, man.
Lighten up, motherfucker, lighten up.
Without a doubt, dude.
And but
might have to jump on him, huh?
Yeah, but some of the guys, when people ask me who trained you, I don't tell, you know, most of the time you hear a certain name, not me. I tell them everybody I step in the ring with is a training session. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because Gary Valiant told me a long time ago, the day you stop learning is the day that you put your boots up.
Exactly, man.
And that stuck with me, you know. And I'm kind of shakety right now because I'm anxious, you know, nervous, and
dude, I'm nervous every time I do this, man.
Man, but
dude, sometimes I do this shit 3 times a week, and I'm nervous for every show, dude. That's what lets you know you care about what you're doing, though, man. Don Bass told me a long time ago, he said, look, if you ever lose them nerves, it's time to get out because you don't care about it no more like you need to, man.
Donnie. Ooh,
man, I didn't realize AC, you know, I didn't realize AC was even your dad until we were just chatting a little bit before we went on, and you told me that. I had no idea, dude. I did not know that. All this time, I have no idea.
Here's a funny thing, because my first time wrestling in Brownsville for SPW, I think it was Mike Shaw,
right,
and Will Sims. You was there, and we introduced ourselves to each other, and I told you, I was like, you may know my dad, and you're like, who's your dad? I was like, AC Styles. He was like, oh, no kidding.
See, I didn't even remember that, dude. I mean, obviously that is the first place I met you in person, was at SPW in Brownsville, but I was trying to film, and I'm thinking at that time I was half-ass announcing too.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that, dude, and it kind of blew me away when you told me that a while ago, because I did not. I mean, like I said, you told me, but I just didn't remember it. I didn't retain it, dude. I learn something new every time I do this podcast, man.
Right. But anyway, the guys that started training me, I started being a guinea pig for CT. This is a fun fact. We went to EPW one night. We just watching the show, me, Dad, and everybody. And Edith came to him. She was like, hey, I got something I want to show you. And she went out and showed him. It was a 20x20 WCW ring. And he said, I remember that ring, and I know what it is, where it's from. That's the ring that my mom and my stepdad renewed their vows in, and it was.
Wow.
And that's why he bought it. Yeah, it wasn't, and it was very sentimental to him. And when he bought it, we set it up in the yard. We lived back when we got the ring. We lived in Walnut. It was like right there, and it's a cove. It's like a little dirt road, itty bitty, and it's like 3 houses. 2 of them are block houses that look identical, like concrete houses, identical to the T. And the end is a trailer, which we lived in the middle house, had the ring setting up between the 2 block houses. We trained in. I was taking bumps on the solid wood. Some others was like, fuck that. Carpet pad and carpet and a tarp is what we used, and we started training on that. Devon Day, Uncle Devon, God rest his soul, lived next door to us. Him, Auburn Thunder, and Jim Casey lived next door to us. And
so basically, y'all had just wrestling matches right there in the neighborhood, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a whole training session right there at wrestling school. And I was the guinea pig, and I just picked up from there. And Nick Grimes, may he rest in peace, had a lot of influence on my career too. Some nights I wear a black shirt, which is a Steven shirt, black gym shorts, and black kickback, black everything in honor of Nick. You know, because Nick helped me a lot too. They we all in there training, and I just pick up and I just become the guinea pig. I'm the test dummy.
Right.
Yeah.
And the crash test dummy.
Yeah, and then I get to I'm like 14 years old, and they take me to SPWA back when it was in Raymer, when Donnie Bass owned it.
Damn.
This is how I get in good with Donnie. But first, Dad was booking for Donnie up there, and which got CT in the door. PK and Jet was working up there too. I come up there and I got in the ring with them. I was training with them. I worked a little training match with Jet.
Right.
It went really great. And they're like, dude, bring him more. The more I came, and they was like, I think he's ready to go in the ring. Dad's like, not yet. So, and then at the age of 15, yeah, all that stuff happened. Where, accident that I posted on Facebook earlier from 10 years ago.
I seen that, dude, man. I've got some photos. I snipped some of those photos, and I definitely want to get to that and then show these photos and talk a little bit about that accident, man. It surprised me, man, that you were able to come back and do the things you do in the ring, dude. I'll be honest with you. I had no idea about that accident either until
I'm a walking miracle. I'm a walking miracle is what I was told.
Looks like it, dude. It looks like it.
They was like, we're surprised your neck ain't broke, dude.
Man, breaking your hip though, man. Your hip bone's a hell of a bone to break, man. And
that's not the first time I've injured my hip. I've been, before I was even wrestling, I was, still fucking off in the ring at the house.
Right.
I somehow managed to dislocate my hip. Still do, like, get in that ring with a dislocated hip and still take the bumps and everything, run the ropes, hurting. I'm like, right. I'm brushing it off because I'm like, screw that. I'm gonna get this. And then somehow I'm on crutches. I'm hurting that bad. I can't even get in the ring. Like, I can't even walk, and I'm using crutches to go through school. And everybody's like, "What's wrong with him?" I'm like, I think my hip's dislocated. I can't walk. And then somehow I'm laying in the floor. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm in pain. Like, I'm sitting on my right ass cheek, trying to keep the pressure off my left hip.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I just said, "The hell with it," and leaned all the way back, and I heard, "Pow!" I'm like, "Yep."
Did it pop back in good?
Oh yeah.
Hurt like hell, but after it got through hurting, did it pop back in or work like it's supposed to?
Oh yeah, I still have a little problem with it sometimes, but that's both of them now.
Right. Look, Alicia Wayne said hi, and she give us a wave, and then Stephanie Barnes says, "Hey, hey, son."
That's my dad's old lady now.
There you go. Your family's watching, man, supporting you, dude.
He stepped away last year around June, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie, if you're steadily watching. But because he's been through the ringer with his shoot job,
Right.
Because he's a truck driver, and yeah.
Yeah, they think that's a lot. It might be a lot of setting, but man, my best friend in life's a truck driver. Been a truck driver for years. I got a couple other buddies who drive trucks, and man, say that shit, that damn truck will beat you to death over time, man. You just always in that seat bouncing, man.
I've worked with him at his job. I was at the yard cleaning up containers that he brings in, and yeah, it's a job.
Right. Man, I'm gonna tell you something about your hip and your injuries, dude. Look, I hope you don't get it like I got it. I ain't got no hip problems, man, but I got other elbows, knees, my fingers, dude. I've got the arthritis is so bad in my right hand middle finger that motherfucker will not straighten out all the way.
I broke both my middle fingers playing football.
Damn, son. You're gonna have arthritis. You're gonna be like Mick Foley, man. You're gonna be arthritic, dude. I never believed it, dude. When I was young, you get them injuries, and back then you didn't stop. I was watching WWE a couple of weeks ago, and I don't forgot who it was. I think it was one of the Imperium guys called a kick to the face, and they pretty much just stopped the whole fucking show and the match right then. TV too, man. I told my wife, I said, it must be mandatory now, because we would have never, unless we'd have got knocked out, even if because I think you ended up getting a concussion. Man, I've took some hard blows, and my natural instinct was back then you didn't stop the match. It was more like, unless you're dead, you finish the match.
Right.
And it's just instinct, man. You wouldn't think nothing about it, man. And it kind of blows me away to see them stop matches, especially on Raw, on worldwide TV. You'd figure.
I got a massive concussion in a match and still went and finished the match. Didn't know what the fuck was happening at the age of 18.
Right. I think I've been lucky. Truthfully, I don't know that I've ever actually gotten a concussion to the head. Now, I've heard everything there is to hurt. I blew both of my knees out, like both of them completely, and never went and got them worked on because you didn't have insurance or nothing. So to this day, man, I'm still, man, like the cold weather, the knees, the arthritis, man, I can feel that shit coming, dude. It's bad, man. And I don't do the kind of wrestling you do, man. You kind of, you do it all, dude. You wrestle, you fly, you fight, you brawl. Dude, let's talk about, go ahead.
I do it all. I learned how to do it all from the best that knows, that's been down there. I've learned from PK and Jet, Hard Knocks, Donnie Bass, Motley Cruz, Matt Taylor, which back in the day was Tyler Boyette. I've learned from Nick Grimes, Devon Day, Jim Casey, Auburn Thunder, Kilo Seaton.
Which now Auburn Thunder is Otto Marie now, right?
No, that's Otto Marie's mother.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know how I forgot that. You're right, dude.
I trained with D-Lo in my yard. When D-Lo would come over to stay with his mom, he would get in the ring with us and would work out a little bit. That's how I know D-Lo.
He's a hell of a talent, man.
Yes, he's a hell of a talent, a hell of a worker. Because I've been in the ring with him I wrestled him at PKAW.
The past show. Yes. I was going to ask you about PKAW since you brought it up. Tell me what you thought about working the PKAW in the bar and that style constantly.
God, it's different, but I felt right at home. I felt right at home because that's my type of people.
Right.
That's my environment. Because if it's anything goes, I'm gonna take it up a notch. And I'm gonna be real with you. Steven Styles is just Steven Parks up to the max.
That's the best way to be, dude. I have this conversation.
100%.
I have this conversation all the time with people, especially young wrestlers, man. I feel like young wrestlers nowadays, they get in the business instead of just wanting to be wrestlers, get in there, learn their craft, do the reps, and then let the gimmick, they kind of evolve and figure out who they are. They kind of want to start now with a gimmick. And sometimes, man, that shoots you in the ass because what you think you are in your head ain't always what you turn out to be in real life, in the wrestling ring and in the wrestling business, man.
The crowd's gotta put it over before you can.
Right.
Simple. If they don't react to it, it makes no sense. Right or wrong.
Right, man. Look, here's the thing. I don't care what it is. It can be as far-fetched as hell. If you can make space aliens make sense to me in the wrestling business, I can buy into it, but I need a story. I need it to make sense somehow. Chronologically, I need to understand where we started, where we're headed, and then where we end up, I just need it, dude. I'm not just look, I awesome wrestling matches, but an awesome wrestling match with a story is 10 times more than just an awesome wrestling match without one.
Right. Yeah, I was always told if it doesn't tell a story, then why are you doing it? Why? What does it mean? Everything has to have a meaning.
Right. When I was brought in, every match, even if it was a one-off, I don't care if it was 2.5 minutes, that was your opportunity to tell a 2.5-minute story. Right then, every single match, you should tell a story of some sort to the crowd, even if it's a one-off. Tell them a one-hit wonder story.
I tell you, a lot of ways I learned the brawling style of wrestling. I'm gonna give you some examples. Motley Cruz, Brody Hawk,
right?
The American Psycho Jay Webb, or the Hale County Misfits, Jumpsuit Mafia, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
And God, I've had many battles with CT, and yeah, and a lot of people have seen them, and they know my head is cut from all up. Like I'm not.
I just seen a picture from a few weeks ago. It might have been the night you actually won the MIW heavyweight title, man. You were covered in blood.
Oh no, that's the night. It was a street fight. Me and Kobe Bryant, for the cruiserweight title, and yeah, let's just say I didn't let up anything.
Well, let's talk about Kobe for a minute, because I've had him on the 30 minutes or less.
Right.
He's actually been on this podcast, but it was when I had 2 or 3 guests at a time, and he only had a few minutes. Thoughts on Cody as a young and up and coming wrestler, Steven? Give me your opinion on this cat.
The kid can go.
He can, man. I think so too.
He's just got to find that inner violence in him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has it in this business. Everybody has it. Once he finds it, he'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, I think he's got a hell of an upside.
He's a great talent. He's a great and I've been told the same thing. He's an asset to anywhere he goes.
Right. I believe that he's a good-looking young kid, man. To me, he's a quintessential babyface, man. You give him another couple years, let him put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle. And, man, look, I know he's got a girlfriend, but he's the kind of kid that could sell you tickets that girls would come see.
Right.
You know, yeah. And that's one thing I feel like's missing from the wrestling business now. Used to, you had a female fan base. I mean, they never come see me, but there was always guys on the card, the pretty boys that they did come to see and get good heat because they don't like you beating up their pretty boys.
Right. I'm that heel. I'm just now becoming that heel that I just don't give a damn. Like, I'll be up your favorite. I'll be up the one. Like, if you don't like me, I don't really care. And that's shoot too.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like me because I call out some shit that they try to reverse on me or pull on me.
Well, look, let's talk about it. You said that, I mean, you made a post that said that you had some things you wanted to get off your chest, dude. Hey, this is your time. You use it your way. If you got something to say, dude, the floor is open. You can say what's on your mind, get it off your chest, or we can move right on along talking wrestling like we've been talking it.
Okay, so my Stephanie, my stepmother, came to me and told me that her nephew, who works with Gary Wooldridge, which is Izzy Rotten,
right?
And he asked Izzy, "Why ain't Steven at EPW no more? Steven's hard to work with." And he told that to him and his buddy. Gets back to Stephanie, and everybody knows that's gonna get back to me.
Right.
So what did I do? I went straight to him. I was like, What's this shit I hear? That I'm hard to work with? Because last time I remember at EPW, I did every damn thing I was asked to do. No questions asked. I did everything.
Right.
And he's like, I ain't talked about you in a long time. I was like, you're full of shit, because if you didn't, they wouldn't have said Izzy Rotten. They would have said but they didn't. They said Gary Wooldridge, because they work with you, and Brandon Savage. I saw Brandon Savage at Walmart in Corinth a few weeks ago. I was talking to him. Well, tried talking to him, and the little snot nosed shit that I helped evolve in this business had his nose stuck in the air like he was better than me.
Dude, you know how this business is, man.
Oh,
There's a double, triple, quadruple standard for, depending on who you are, is depending on how many double, triple standards there is for you in this business.
But then I at the time I try to get back in with EPW, I get told, oh, Neil and them don't want you back because you smoke weed before the shows. That was 2 years ago. You can ask anybody. Oh, here's the thing. I'm a dangerous worker. I'm unprofessional. I'm a liability, all because of that. But here's my question. There was another top talent in this area, in the Mid-South area, that did harder drugs than me. That was throughout the show. Am I right? But we're not going to talk about that because it gets me heat, and people want to get pissed off and want to try to say that oh, I did illegal things to a minor, when that never happens. The people that know me know the real reason why I'm not there. Know the real reason why he's trying to do that stuff. Knows the real me that know I would not touch a minor.
Well, those are some I'm gonna be honest with you, that goes beyond wrestling to me. Those are some heavy allegations to be throwing around without any, if you have no proof or you don't have the facts, man. That's the kind of stuff that damages people's reputation, not just in the business but in real life.
Right. And here's the thing. I went to everybody at that show and I said, have I ever hurt you in the ring? No. Have I ever hurt you in the ring? No. I've hurt myself in the ring protecting others.
Right.
That's how I am in this business. I put my body on the line day in and day out, working and in wrestling. I made a vow the day I started in this business that I would do anything it took to go to the next level in this business.
Right.
And I stand on that. But back to the whole weed thing. I ain't done that in 2 years. I ain't done that before. I ain't done that before a show. I ain't been intoxicated at a show in 2 years.
Dude, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Everything I've done in life since I was 13, I've been high for. Every wrestling match, every training session, all of it, man. I'll be honest with you. I would rather wrestle a guy high on weed than I would drunk.
Thank you.
I mean, I just would.
But here's the thing. How can you say that to me? But you can go do acid, go outside, go out in the parking lot with the referee, smoke a few doobies, and come back and book a whole show, a TV show, put yourself in a match with a TNA star like James Storm. You know what I'm saying?
It's a double standard, dude.
And still get away with it. How can promoter's wife go out, hit a weed pen, come back and work a TV match?
You know, you said the key word right there. You said the key word. You said promoter's wife. That's why. That's how, dude.
And you could take off, or a certain person could take off about however long they want, go kill a deer, or just sit in a tree. And then if they want to come back, come on back. Let me take off to get sober. Let me take off to get my health right. Because I killed a fifth of Jim Beam honey, and at 2:30 the next morning, I'm in the bathroom puking up black stuff.
Right. Yeah, so, man. Dude, that's just the wrestling business in general. It's always been that way. If you ain't in that certain clique, you ain't in that certain clique. If you in it, you can get away with shit that other people can't get away with, dude.
And this is what I'd say to them. Fuck all of you. Kiss my ass. I don't need y'all, never did.
There you go, man. That's the way. Look, right now, you are the current MIW heavyweight champion. Now, you beat was it Jay Smooth and Hollywood in a triple threat to win this title?
Yes, it was.
Talk to me a little bit about that. And look, I know you and Hollywood, I don't know your current situation, but I know you guys are boys to a certain level. Y'all have done some tagging together. How did we end up in this triple threat match with Hollywood, you and Jay Smooth for this title, dude?
Oh, man, me and Hood go way back, man. Hood style. I still got the shirt. Man, we was like, I think 5, 6-time MIW tag champion. I want to say 5 because that was like the biggest rant he pulled was 5-time MIW tag champion.
I know you guys had a storied history together, man.
Oh yeah, and then I tagged with Jay Smooth a lot when we was working the Outlaws, which at the time it was Brody Hawk and David Andrews. And but I've shared some good battles with Smooth. It was originally supposed to be me and Smooth. Somehow Hood got involved in the mix. So I said, "The hell with it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take this title by any means necessary."
Well, was this your first? Is this your first run with MIW being a heavyweight champion?
No, sir.
Okay. Smarten me up. How many times you held this title?
Oh man, I want to say about 2 or 3.
Okay.
This would be my 3rd run. Probably.
So what's your plans for this run? Obviously, you want to hold on to that belt as long as possible, but where do you want to ride this being MIW champion? Where do you want that to lead you to, man?
I want it to mean something again. I want this title to actually mean something. I want the world. For any company I hold a title for, I want that title to mean something. Like, what did the NWA World Heavyweight title mean?
Right.
What did the WCW World title mean before David Arquette put his hands on it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What did the CWA title mean? All the title history. It's all it's about. It's about the meaning of the title. And man, I'm shaking right now because it's a being champion and expressing all that. It's striking nerves, and I could just feel the heat I'm gonna get from all this, and I don't really care because what's gonna happen? You're gonna think you can't work there? I don't care. It's not your fault.
Especially if you already can't work there, it don't really matter. You know. Yeah, man, it's always been that way, and it'll always be that way. Look, we was talking about Motley earlier, and I've been seeing it go around out of all the Hall of Fames and all these little companies around our territory.
He deserves Motley deserves to be in the Hall of Fame in each company in this area.
Right, and he ain't in any of them. Not one company is he in the Hall of Fame, and that don't make no sense to me whatsoever. That right there. Here's the thing. That
Motley
kind of
Cruz,
stuff.
If you're watching, thank you, sir. Thank you, Pops. That's what I call him. It's Pops. Thank you, Pops, for everything you've taught me. And every time I talk to you, whenever I get a chance to talk to you, I'm always going to tell you thank you.
Yeah, Motley's touched a lot of guys around here. A lot of male wrestlers, female wrestlers over. I mean, hell, I've known Motley since probably 1993. So you're talking 31 years, and he's been around long before that, dude. So, you know, he should be in some Hall of Fames. Here's my theory on that. If he's worked at your place and helped you build a company, whether it's, I don't know, TIWF, MIW, SPWA, whatever.
Which that place it's already gone now because
Mid-Southern Championship Wrestling in Osceola. If Motley was a part of it and helped you build that, and you have a Hall of Fame, and he put his time in there, dude, if he's not in your Hall of Fame, to me, it discredits your Hall of Fames. Because here's the thing, there's a debate going on too about the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame. And I hear a lot of people talk about, well, you didn't work for Memphis Wrestling. Well, what is Memphis Wrestling? When you say I didn't work for Memphis Wrestling, do you mean Jerry Jarrett, Jerry Lawler's version? So is that really Memphis Wrestling, or is all wrestling in and around Memphis part of Memphis Wrestling, whether they've influenced the whole business and ran the territory like Lawler and Jarrett did, or whether they run on Friday nights, but they've been in business for 10 or 15 years, or Saturday nights like Trenton?
My whole belief is, if it's Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame, it's got to be the beginning to the Jerry Lawler Dundee era, to the Corey Macklin era, all the way up until it was just gone. And then and now it's revised. And it's not, and I don't care. Like, I'm a Bluff City guy through and through. I was the first person asked from MIW by Brody Hawk to do Bluff City. And that's when it first started. And then I had to step away after that because at the time my girlfriend, her son was playing Little League football, and it was on Saturday mornings. So
well, look, let's talk about Bluff City a little bit. You recently, a few months ago, you finally made your debut on Bluff City. Talk about, after all this time, being on Bluff City and how it is working there and being on TV, dude. Is this your first TV?
No, EPW was my first TV.
That's right. That's right.
I was on the first episode of EPW TV. If you want me to be exact, it was me and DC Daniel Cross, and I believe we was the main event of the first episode of EPW Wrestling on WTVA. And I worked TV there for like I want to say a year. And then once I started Bluff City, my first match at Bluff City was Buck Skinner, thanks to and that was a great match. And then I did a battle royal, and now that I'm back at Bluff City, the locker room is different, the environment's different. It's still great. I love the environment and I love the locker room. Just some of the guys that were there when I was there ain't there. God rest his soul. Smitty,
yeah.
And last show I did with Smitty was in Leechville, Arkansas for TNR Wrestling. And Leechville, Arkansas is my original hometown. That's where I lived for 11 years. I was born in Blytheville, Arkansas. I lived in Walnut for going on 15 years.
Right. Yeah, Leechville, I see TNR runs it, but I want to say here a month or so ago in Humane Championship, no, they ran Corning. Not Leechville, they ran Corning. But TNR, man, they're running shows regular over in Arkansas. Inhumane's running. And, dude, I've got some graphics here, man. There's a big card coming up at MIW. I want to pull this graphic up, and then you can kind of tell everybody about this card and some of this other talent. But I've got a specific graphic of your match going to be coming up this Friday night. So let me pull up this whole card first, and you can kind of introduce some of the talent to people, and then we will get to your specific match, dude, because I really want to talk about that. You got an opponent I know well.
Oh, yeah.
Get my stuff situated here, dude. All right. Get it shared out.
All right. Okay, so me and Justin Case, which I call him Sir Justin, we're issuing an open challenge. Last week we issued one. David Cox appeared and I beat him. Continue to issue one. No one. AC's music played. Nobody showed up. But then we make a challenge to Charlie Kingston, and from what I've seen on Facebook, looks like he's not going to show up there again this week. But
also,
anyway,
he didn't show up last week.
Yeah, he didn't show up last week, and I was supposed to face him last week. That's that.
Man,
He was supposed to answer my challenge because he texted Grady Watson and told Grady Watson, I want Steven. I want that heavyweight title. That's when he
showed
texted.
Up for it.
Yeah, and then wanted it again this week, but apparently I don't know what happens. But anyway, besides that, we got this cruiserweight title, last man standing match, Cody Bryan and Clayton Cross. Cody Bryan, we've talked about him. He's a great talent. He's beating me. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta give credit where credit's due. The kid beat me. I mean, in our street fight that I challenged him to. Clayton Cross, he's been around for a little while. Not as long as me. Let's just say that. But he's got his work cut out for him. Clayton is he's tough. I've been in the ring with Clayton. You got Caleb Dakota on the card. He's a tall guy, tall, skinny guy. Good talent. He just he needs to find him. He needs to find Caleb. Like with Cody.
Right.
You got Hollywood up here. And you got Dangerous David Cox. He's been in the business forever. And I'm not just joking.
Forever, dude.
I'm telling you, forever. He'll tell you he trained Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, he's been in forever, dude. There ain't no doubt about that. The first time I'd seen him in forever, and probably 20 years, was at Brownsville for SPW, man.
Yeah, because Hollywood broke his rib.
MIW runs every Friday night.
That's right. Every Friday night. We've been running for 6 years. And me and Mick Vicious, as you see up here, Vicious Hyde. That's the new tag team now that was established at Bluff City, and now they have made their way down here to MIW, and they have made their presence known at OWO. Mick Vicious and I are me and Mick. We have a history, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm literally the first guy that put him to sleep in the ring. Well, I'll just leave it at that. But
so y'all do have a history.
Yeah, me and Mick are the last two MIW originals there. Everybody else
I know
that's come through the doors. As I only came through the doors after everybody else is gone. We have Steel Cross.
Now him and Go ahead, Steven.
Oh,
well, I was going to say
Mick and Hyde.
Mick Vicious and Hyde are currently the MIW Tag Team Champions and the Bluff City Tag Team Champions, right?
I believe that is correct. Yeah, they're a dominant tag team.
And Steel Cross up there, they've been tag team champions down there everywhere they've been.
Yeah, I grew up watching them at TIWF because back in the day when my dad in Hard Knocks was up there, I think what put Dad on TIWF map was him and Sarge O'Reilly with the XOW Invasion.
Sarge is another one. He's like Motley. Sarge has been around forever, and he's helped Mickey Ray too. Right. Sarge has helped so many guys in this business, man. But here's the match, dude. Here's the match I want to talk about. I know Chase McCoy pretty well, man.
Oh, me too.
Look, he's a big guy. He is a big guy who can move. He can do things that big guys his size don't do. He can wrestle, he can fight, and he can fly if he wants to. Give me your thoughts on this match and this matchup, dude.
Me and Chase have a history out this world. It's more of a tag team history than a singles history. I've never been in the ring with him singles. I've been in the ring with him in a tag match. He dislocated my right pinky in a tag match. Yeah. Man, him and when it was Southern Connection, him and J Rage, it was me and AC Styles Clan against Southern Connection, two of the hottest tag teams in MIW clashing. You couldn't beat it. I'm telling you. But now it's me and Chase McCoy. Chase McCoy is the son of Shannon Lee, and I'm the son of AC Styles. I've wrestled all three, if you want me to be exact. I've wrestled AC, I've wrestled Shannon, and Chase. This is going to be a great match. I expect, and I know it's going to be a great match. I expect the best out of Chase just as much. I know he expects the best out of me. And Chase,
right? Chase can go, man. Chase can go, dude. I was impressed with Chase from the very first time I seen him live. He impressed
Chase,
me, and
he's
never stopped impressing me.
Chase, I wish you the best of luck. But as everybody else, you're going to fall to the Lord Steven Styles.
There it is. There's the prediction right there. The champion, Lord Steven Styles, retains the MIW Heavyweight Championship this Friday night. I hope you got them boots laced up, because I know Chase is gonna come. He's gonna give you a fight, man.
Oh, he will not, and I wouldn't expect anything less.
Well, look, you got another show coming up in February at the OWO, and you're going against the guy who's also been on Bluff City, Dread the Clown. Man, tell me a little bit about this matchup, and have you ever faced Dread before?
Actually, I faced Dread at the last. It's a return match. I faced him at the last OWO show in Pontotoc, and there was no winner, because we're starting a level up show. Me and Nico and Curly Mo. Curly Mo is the COO of Level Up, and we just stomped the piss out of Dread, and which we're gonna run all over OWO. But like I said, by any means necessary. At OWO, I'm a whole different person. Now I feel different at OWO than I do anywhere else. Like, I'm a different Steven Styles. I'm a meaner and more ruthless, and I need to be that everywhere I go.
Well, now OWO is a Mississippi company. What about Crossroads Wrestling? Do you do any work for Crossroads?
I wrestled for Crossroads Wrestling in November. I want to say it was November 16th, I believe. It was after a Bluff City taping. It was me and Hood against the Crowleys, or no, it's Twins of Salem. It was Jackson, Crowley, and Abel, and man, that was a great match.
Those are some talented guys too, man.
I love the Crowleys. I love the whole trio. You know,
right?
Which they got their knowledge and their art in this. They're crafting this art from Psycho.
Right.
Which everybody that remembers Psycho. Yeah. Oh, these pictures. Huh. This is what you was talking about.
Yeah, man. Right. You was talking about like I seen you post this earlier today, and man, when I seen it, I thought, damn, I gotta snatch that, and we're gonna have to talk about that. Look, you said 10 years ago now, you said you was riding, quote, now, I was riding in the back of some crackhead's truck and fell out. And
my sister's boyfriend at the time broke
my whole left side of my body, dude. So it looks like some pretty heavy road rash right there, my
man. Yeah, it was beautiful. Now. Yeah, it's my sister's boyfriend at the time. We went out riding with him. It was an old Ford Ranger he was driving. And she was riding shotgun on him. I was in the back end. It was like November. Yeah, as the date said, November. I stood up in the back of the truck, and he punched in the gas, and I felt like it was going 70. I fell out of the truck. I hit every my head hit everything. Tailgate, hitch, whatever you name it, bumper, road, and just rode all the way back to the top of the hill or the curve where he as soon as he punched it. And I got up, my arm was locked, like in a 90-degree angle. And my foot, I went to walk, and somehow I fell back down. I'm like, yeah, something's broke. So I limped the quarter mile back home to the top of my driveway. Get this, I lived at the time. I lived downhill, and I get to the driveway. They're sitting right there. They're just talking or whatever, and I just knock on the window. They look. I'm like, hi, boom, collapse right next to a tree. So I'm losing blood right now, and I'm cold.
Well, let me ask you something. Okay, the dude dumps you out. You go out the back of the truck, but yet you have to walk. So did they not know that you had fell out the back of the truck, or what?
Not a clue. They wasn't paying attention about me. They didn't. Yeah, and when they saw me, they started touching my arm. They started touching my side, and I'm screaming like, "Get the fuck off of me!" You know, like
I bet, man.
And they take me down to the house. My sister, I felt bad for her. She's carrying me up the stairs. She's like, at the time I was heavy. She's like, God, you weigh such a ton. I'm like, oh, this is all your fault. Trust me. And then we get inside, and my grandma, because my dad, he's driving over the road. And this is at night. My grandma's like, what happened? What happened? Brittany's like, Stephen fell out of a tree. Because she didn't know we went out riding with her boyfriend.
Right.
She just was like, I fell out of a tree. End of the story. Got
banged up every branch on the way down too. Apparently, man.
When someone tells me the saying, man, you fell the ugly tree, and I was like, yeah, literally hit every branch on the way down.
Dude, you're lucky it wasn't. I mean, as bad as it was, you're lucky it wasn't worse than it was. Apparently.
Oh, I'm telling you, we go to Ripley Hospital, which I believe was a mistake in the first place because they weren't worth their crap. Which they did the MRIs, whatever, and they're like, your left hip is dislocated, or no, it's cracked. I'm sorry, I'm still on the dislocation part.
Right.
Your hip is fractured, pretty much barely broke. I'm like, so it's broke. That's all I'm gonna say. It's broke. Your left foot right there, the bone at your arch bone, pretty much. That's broke.
Right.
And your radius, which is the bone where your thumb is, the inner arm bone, forearm bone, because you have two. You have the ulna and radius. They said your radius is snapped. It's like it's stuck like that. But it never went ripped the skin, never came out of the skin, nothing. It was still, my arm was still full tack, but the bone was snapped like that.
Right.
So they wrapped me up because I'm severely cut. I'm ripped from armpit to hip, and I'm pouring blood out of my hip. And I'm pouring blood out of my back, out of my hand, everything. They wrapped everything up. They wrapped me up like I'm a damn mummy. And then they put a splint on my foot till I go to the car that Monday. And as the doctor is putting a splint on this arm, he's driving his elbow into that muscle, into that bone. And I'm about ready to use my right fist with every bit of power I could find in it and just punch him right in the nose to get the hell off my arm before you break the rest of it.
Right.
And they wrapped that up. Thanksgiving was not pleasant that year.
Well, let me ask you this.
I'm a southpaw. I'm a left-hander. So, and everything on the left side's fucked up. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. How long did it take you to fully recover? How long from the time that happened to the time you was in the wrestling ring?
I started wrestling at the age of like 16. I was about to turn 17. And this all happened when I was like 15 years old.
Okay. How long did it take you to recover though? How long did it take you before you was up and you could go do what you do normal stuff?
After the cast came off everything, all this was healed up, and I was able to, finally get motion and strength back in this one. A few months, and I'm back. And because at the time we were in a new house, which we had like 54 acres of land and woods combined.
Right.
And so we had the ring set straight up in the yard, all new boards, everything. And this time we got padding and a canvas, and I put some mattresses on the outside so I could practice dives and shit like that. And within a few months I was back training.
Dude, you talking about them
picking up steel, picking up like all kinds of shit, helping my dad at a farm, getting firewood, because I would camp out in the woods for like a month at a time. So yeah, this is like pretty much home remedy workout shit that I've done, and it led me to be a survivor. I can survive anywhere.
I hear you. Look, dude, before we even went on the air, we was kind of talking about some of the injuries and stuff, and you made the remark. You said you feel like a walking miracle, dude.
From all that, yes, I've cheated death a few times.
I tend to agree with you, man. After hearing all this, man, you're a lucky guy, dude. Lucky dude, man. Like I said, you got hurt bad, but you could have been dead, man.
I've had gasoline shoot straight into my eye when I was a kid. I almost caused an explosion in my grandfather's house. Set a cotton field on fire. Been shot in the hand with a BB gun. The BB is still in there. Right now I have a titanium plate holding my left arm together. As you can see, like the cut or the scar right on here. I'm pretty sure that at the time I shattered my elbow, because you can see in that one picture I had a gash I had blood on my elbow because I punctured the shit out of it. I want to say it was shattered because my arm was locked in place. Concussions in the ring, lots of blood loss. My first 6 months in the ring, the move I do now, I was on the receiving end of SPWA, and I landed on my head I hit a thin spot of padding and went straight into the board in the middle that was connecting the boards, and it jarred my neck. And then I wrestled a match with MEMPHIS about 5-6 years ago at MIW, and he has me in a chin hold or a chin lock, and I lean up and I give him a jawbreaker, and when I landed kind of like how I'm sitting, and my head just snapped back, and I heard a pop right there. So,
man, you got to be careful, man. Whiplash in pro wrestling's bad as it is, dude. In general, just taking bumps, man. You don't realize it. You get used to it, but I mean, a bump's a bump, man. Your body ain't meant to be falling, being slammed around like it gets slammed around in the wrestling business, man.
Right. And of course you got guys that would be like, I wouldn't take that. I'm like, well, you're not dedicated enough. If you can't take a finish, if you can't take anything in this business that you would want to give someone, why are you in it?
Dude, I feel the same way, man. I feel the same way. Ain't nothing I hate more. Look, I understand if you're injured and you've got an injury that you're trying to work around. Well, yeah, if there's something that I'm going to specifically do that's going to centralize that injury.
With fresh tattoos, I've wrestled matches with strained muscles. I've wrestled Man, you name I've wrestled hurt. I'll just put it like that. I've wrestled matches with all 4 wisdom teeth killing me, like that bad. Like I was at the point I was in a fetal position in tears right before my match, and then I go out there and just do the whole match. If it's it was a tag match. Me and Hood against I think Chaz and Tyson, and the whole time while Hood's in there, but until I'm tagged in, I bury my face into that turnbuckle in pain.
Right.
And people was asking me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm in pain. My mouth is killing me."
Yeah, see, that's that old school mentality, like we were talking earlier about them stopping the matches. They just didn't do that. When I broke in, they just didn't do that then, man.
Right.
You know, unless you was dead, or unless you I don't remember them hardly ever stopping matches at all for any reason back then, to be honest with you.
Right.
And it's in your mentality. It's bred into you. If you can go, you get up and you go. You finish the match. That's the thing. You're out here live, finish the match, and a lot of guys have been hurt real bad and finished matches.
See, what instilled that in me is when Dad told me the stories of back at Osceola in Trenton. He broke both of his ankles and never went to the doctor. At Osceola, he got thrown out of the ring, and you know that ring. You know what I'm talking about. When he hit that side, the whole side of his ribs broke. That's how you know how stiff that ring is in Osceola. Yeah. And Sam Dollar, this is how I know Sexy Sam. I'd go to Osceola and I'd see him out there and I'd just give him hell. Me and my grandmother both. And he'd be out there, he'd be stomping Dad with them cowboy boots on. You know which boots I'm talking about. And Sam, he ain't light on anything.
Man, look, you talking about stomping with them cowboy boots, or them I used to wear motorcycle boots. Okay. But he finally later on, years later, got a crate sole put on them, but at first it still had the sole with the little heel.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you don't want to be on the outside, get thrown out, and him kicking you with them fucking boots, because
you don't want to be outside if he's involved in the match at all.
You know, he's my brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
that motherfucker, man. Man, I've seen him kick guys with them fucking biker boots, and like I said before, he got the crate sole, man. You'd be on your hands and knees like he's gonna get up, and he'd kick you in the ribs, but that damn sole, that hook, that heel would catch you, man.
And you're like,
yes, exactly, man. That dude, everybody be running. You get thrown out in front of Sam, he had them boots on. You just getting the hell out of there, man.
Yeah. Okay. So slowing down, they put me in the ring with PK. This is where PK comes in and me slowing down. They're like, PK's gonna slow you down so you don't work as fast. All right. I'm in there with PK and Jet. This is like a month or two long lasting. This is when Dad was running a show in Selmer for Dad's show PWA. And we had PK in there, and me and PK, and then Jet would come in and do his little shit on me, and somehow at the end, Jet would come in for a final thing, and I gave him a couple boots from the corner. He'd feed out into the center. I'd run up. He'd go to give me a sidewalk slam. I'd just flip over back onto his shoulder, spin around to a DDT. He spiked the shit out of it, and it looked beautiful. And then I go to get PK, because referee is getting Jet out of the ring. As soon as I turn PK around, smack with a kendo stick. 1, 2, 3. And I've learned to slow down a lot since. Motley slowed me down a lot too.
Right.
Every time he got me in the corner, I knew what was coming. Forearm to the chest, chop. Forearm, chop. I knew it was a repetitive pattern right there with Motley.
Right.
And I'd play with Motley though. I'd play with him. I'd get him laughing.
Yeah, Motley's fun out there, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Look, he believes in working hard, working snug, making it look good. But, man, you can have fun out there with Motley. The dude is...
He's good at pulling ribs, too.
Yeah, man, his psychology, he's got real good psychology, man. And that's what... That's the key to pro wrestling.
The only person in this area to work Ric Flair twice.
Right. And look, I did not even know that. Me and Motley, like I said, I met him in 93. We were actually tag team partners for a couple of years as Cruising for Pain. I've wrestled.
They did that tag team. Him and my dad did.
Look, I've wrestled Motley. Me and Motley started out as opponents, and then we became partners. But he never, ever told me, never let on that he'd ever wrestled Ric Flair. I had to wait until years later and see that shit on the internet, man. Never said a word about it, dude.
He openly told me that. He said, I wrestled Ric Flair twice, right? I was like, no fucking way. No. Ain't no fucking way. He's like, I promise you, go on YouTube. You'll see it. And sure enough, I did.
Motley's a hell of a dude. Well, Steven, dude, we got to wrap it down, man. Look, dude, it's been my pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on, giving me your time. And, man, I wish you the best of luck with your MIW heavyweight title reign, dude. And I wish you best of luck in your pro wrestling career and in life, dude.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me, Buster. It was an honor. I mean, knowing you and my family history, I mean, sure enough, I'm pretty sure this would have happened eventually down the road.
Right. No, dude, here's the thing. There's a lot of guys that I want on, but I'm a big believer in I need a connection. And
I believe this will not be our first rodeo.
It won't, dude. Look, it won't. I've enjoyed this conversation. I feel like there's so much more we could get into and talk about. And I'm a firm believer in stuff happening organically. And, we were commenting on a post the other day. And there's guys all the time, man, that I want to talk to, but I don't have a connection to for some reason. And then if I just wait, something will happen. It'll connect us. Just like the other day, man, me and you got to talking about that Waylon Mercy post is what it was. And I come back and I told you that was Dan Spivey.
Yeah.
And then you come back and comment, and I thought right then, I said, this is it. This is the time. I'm going to hit him up and ask him, does he want to come on the show, man? And I'm not one to just go out and bring anybody on my show, dude. I'm not the just hit me up and you can come on guy. I want people on that I'm interested in. I want people on that I want to talk to and that I'm interested in who they are and what they're about, dude. And sometimes, man, you just gotta wait until all the pieces of the puzzle fall together. And for us, it fell together. What, 2 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. 3 weeks ago, maybe.
I'll tell you my favorite people that as of now, I have learned from to sit down and listen to them tell stories. That's the Rock and Roll Express. I've learned a lot from them. I've learned a lot from a lot of people, a lot of guys, trailblazers in this business, and I've shared locker rooms with guys that have crossed to the other side.
Right.
And I will, again, closing with this. You can't tell me that I'm all them things that I'm supposed to be when you got guys alive and dead that have done worse than me and still became megastars in this industry, even though they're hired and fired because of it.
Right.
They've still made a name for themselves.
Dude, this is in the pro wrestling business, there's a lot of people that want to tell your story and write your story and write what they want about you. They can say what they want, but it's yours. It's your story. It's your life. It's your career. At the end of the day, you're the guy who dictates where you go, where you take it, and what you do. Don't let none of these people bring you down, and don't let what they say affect you. If anything, use it as fuel to be better, to prove them wrong that much more, dude.
Oh, I do. That's why I'm not gonna put them over. I will never put that company over. I will never put their talent over. And because I don't hate them, they just don't hold no value or weight to me.
Right. It's
Then
like,
what is that saying? If it has no if it doesn't mean anything to you, cut it loose. And that's what I do.
right. That's what you have to do, man. In this life, it ain't just wrestling. It's in life in general. Sometimes you got to cut people and things loose just for your own betterment. You know,
Right.
it's just as simple as that. A lot of people want to pull you down instead of build you up. And you need to be surrounded by people who want to lift you up higher than you already are.
Right. But Buster, if it, I'm pretty sure you'd accept this. But people, stay stay in tune, because Buster Unmasked with Steven Styles, there will be a part 2 coming down the line.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, my friend. Steven, you have a great night.
You too, Buster. Thank you for having me. Thank you all that's watching. And if you are close to Middleton on Friday nights, be sure to check in and be sure to pay your $10 to see Lord Steven Styles.
There you go, man. You have a great night, my friend.
You too.
All right, guys, you heard it right there. Lord Steven Styles, the MIW heavyweight champion. Every single Friday night, Middleton, Tennessee, MIW Wrestling. Go check him out. You can catch him at Bluff City. You can catch him at OWO. Look, man, go watch this guy. He's amazing in the fucking ring. There's no doubt. He, like I said at the very opening, he's one of the most underrated guys around our area, I believe. There's a few of these underrated guys, and he's one of them. His talent greatly exceeds his spot right now, and keep your eye on him because he's climbing, and he's climbing, and he's going to end up at the top of that mountain. He's at the top of the MIW mountain, and after that, you jump to the bigger mountain, man, and you go further. Guys, I appreciate everybody for watching. Listen, Thursday night, 7 p.m., I've got the Premier Pro Wrestling crew on. They have got a big show this Friday night at Dyer, Tennessee. Hopefully the weather stays like it is. It's clear and the show goes down. But Thursday night, be sure to catch us, 7 p.m., Buster Unmasked. The Premier Pro Wrestling crew will be here, and we're going to run through 2 cards. They got this Friday in Dyer, Tennessee, and then the next Saturday they're in Bradford, Tennessee, and we're going to run through both cards for you. Guys, Thursday night, 10 p.m., every single Thursday, 10 p.m. Central Time, Buster Unmasked on the Genesis TV network. Don't miss it. Eric J., I seen your comment, brother. We was just right in the middle of stuff. I appreciate you watching as always. You know that. I hope you and the family's doing great. And everybody out there, thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, tune in this Thursday night, 7 p.m. for Premier Pro